What's up, everybody? Tomorrow we get Season 1 of Black Ops 7, and along with that comes the Warzone integration. So today the patch notes for both BO7 and Warzone came out today. I'll have the Warzone patch notes linked down below if you want to check them out for yourself. That's what we're going over today. But if you also want to see stuff for endgame, zombies, and multiplayer, I'll link the BO7 patch notes down below, but we typically don't really talk about those here. So it'll be linked down below if you want to check that out for yourself. Also linked down below is my Twitch. I will be live tomorrow afternoon for a while, checking out the new Haven's Hollow, trying to figure out the meta, checking out some new perks, some adjusted perks. So my Twitch is linked down below if you want to come hang out live. Also linked down below is my Twitter, my TikTok, my Instagram, as well as my single player channel and my car Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channels. If you want to check those out as well, any support here, there, or anywhere is always appreciated. But let's go ahead and start running through these patch notes. There's kind of a lot that we'll skip through because there's a lot that's just not super duper important. Ricochet anti-cheat update. It requires TPM 2.0 and secure boot for Warzone, which is already something for BO7. Rewards, verify your email account for security and you get these rewards. Events, Rally Point event week 2, which gives you the crossbow coming. That stuff's not too important. Battle Pass stuff we can skip. New map we know we're getting is Haven's Hollow, based in West Virginia and based off of the Zombies map from BO6. Just kind of descriptions of the POIs. For Verdansk, we're getting the new Signal Station POI. It's located near Mill Base. It's like where the frozen lake used to be. Up here, you can see it on this map here. You can complete a short side quest to activate the main radar and earn a portable tactical heat map. This item reveals nearby threat levels for your squad in real time and is lost upon death. Then we're getting the Return of Factory, which was on Verdansk 84. The layout is like the exact same with just some updated touches. If you played on Verdansk 84, you know this POI. Of course, it's been a while, so it'll feel a little new, but it's disappointing that we get 2 new POIs, and one of them is one that we already had. Warzone is getting back to its Warzone roots a little bit, and we're getting weekend-only LTMs pretty much every weekend. Starting this weekend, we will be getting buyback Battle Royale, and as long as you have enough cash in your pocket, you will just automatically return. Amped Battle Royale, we're getting an experimental mode that increases base health to support longer, higher intensity engagements. I'm super excited for Amped Battle Royale. Week 3 and 4, no LTMs because of the holiday break. And then Week 5, Ultra Fast Resurgence, which we'll get details at a later date. They used to give us LTMs all the time. They kind of stopped doing that, so I'm glad to see them bringing back LTMs. One thing not noted on here is they said in Season 1, every LTM will include wall jumping and grappling hooks so they can monitor them. That might be somewhere later in this. I feel like it is, but that is something that's happening. Open matchmaking that is in BO7 is coming to Warzone, and people go, oh, there's no SBMM. Skill is still minimally considered, right? So minimally doesn't mean it's not considered or it's barely considered. It just means like ping is first, and then maybe like playtime. Like there's other factors, and that's just the last one on the list. That doesn't mean it doesn't have any weight, because they still want to protect the very casual and very low skill players, of course, and they don't want the really good players to be jumping into those playlists. Like they don't want somebody who is a 50-year-old who plays 2 hours a Saturday night getting in Soka's matches, right? So still gotta consider skill a little bit in matchmaking. Playlist week 1, unfortunately, there is no Haven's Hollow only playlist unless you want to play Resurgence Casuals. It will be rotating with Rebirth Island, which I think is unfortunate. To have the brand new map be on a rotation, even if you just did a quads playlist for it and had all squad sizes in rotation so people can check out the new map. That's a little bit disappointing. I may start the Warzone part of my stream because I'll probably level up weapons first, the new weapons, but I'll probably start the Warzone part of my stream in Resurgence Casuals just so I can check out the map. Then they said at launch of Season 1, all squad size will be available for both Core and Resurgence in Europe and North America. Other regions will be launching with Quad for both Core modes. That's kind of disappointing that there's no solos, duos, trios. Apparently for Oceania, Asia, North Africa, Middle East, Africa, South, LATAM. I don't know if I'm forgetting a region there, but that's kind of disappointing. Aim assist, this long and the short is they weakened aim assist up close and strengthened a little bit at long range because they were finding in close range controller players were winning more often and at long range keyboard players were winning more often when considering players at similar skill levels. That's all this says. Movement, tack sprint is removed, which you can put back on with the sprinter perk, but the overall base speed, sprint speed has been increased to compensate for that. With combat roll, you can get that through Mountaineers, so you can jump off of roofs and roll instead of jumping off a roof and taking damage. Now, obviously, if you get on a high enough roof, you will take damage, but since that's part of Mountaineer, that also extends that height as well. Experimental mechanics, there it is. We've enabled both wall jump and grapple hook for all LTMs throughout Season 1. Loadouts wildcards are removed. Overkill is now available by default. I still have never liked Overkill being available by default. In Warzone 1, it wasn't like that. That came about in Warzone 2, which we have now. And then they brought wildcards in, so they got rid of it, and now it's back. I just think it shouldn't be by default, but it is what it is. Attachment cap. Now weapons are limited to 5 attachments because there is no gunfighter wildcard. Equipment options, a number of lethal and tactical equipment options have been moved out of the loadout selection, only available via in-match loot. Equipment, stim shots will now counter flash or concussion grenades. Smoke grenades can now put out Molotovs or napalm strike fire. For lethals, there's the needle drone. If you play BO7, you can watch this GIF here, but you can either manually control like this, or you can throw it on a straight path. The point turret is a little mini turret. If you didn't play BO7, that can stick to surfaces. It's cool that it can stick to vehicles, and will target opponents and shoot them. C4, they've adjusted. It can be detonated via the C-Link, which is like a thing implanted in your head in BO7, so you don't need the clacker to activate it. So it should activate quicker. Combat axe, it acts more like a throwing knife. It's one shot to the head. Molotovs, they've adjusted. They can be extinguished by smoke grenades. Claymores are returning. Drill charges are returning. Frags are returning. Proximity mines are returning. Sticky grenades, aka Semtex, are returning under a different game in name, under name in game. So Semtex. Thermites are also returning, but those are only available in loot. Tacticals, new Phantom Signal. It essentially is an EMP in regards to how it affects your opponents on their side, but it will also tag opponents, and it will tag opponents, and they will emit a certain sound for 10 seconds, and it will put them on your compass. And it also is not consumed if no opponents are nearby, but that's only available in loot. The pinpoint grenade, you can see how broken it actually is here. You can see their outlines, their complete silhouettes through walls and when they're moving around. The tracker can be removed. It's only available in ground loot, thankfully. And then the sight grenade, it doesn't say only available in loot. I think that is available in your loadouts, but it makes you hallucinate copies of yourself, essentially, and there's audio hallucinations, and it's going to be really annoying. Hopefully the stim also counters this, because in multiplayer it counters that. Decoy, flash. Ooh, flashes are only available in loot. That's super interesting. Heartbeat sensor is now not a field upgrade. It's a tactical. Stim shots are adjusted. It once again only says flash and concussion effects. Concussion is returning, but that you can put in your loadout. Shock charge is returning, but that's only available in loot, which I just wish they would go away. And then smoke grenades are returning as well. Field upgrades, a new echo unit. It just makes a hologram copy of yourself. PDSs, it says adjusted. Deployable autonomous neutralizing agent dispersal unit lasts for a limited time. Can now be picked back up if deployed but not activated by gas. So that's the adjustment. That's good. Armor box, deployable cover, munition box, recon drone, trophy system, and war cry are all returning. And in Resurgence, the redeployed drone beacon is returning. For kill streaks, bunker buster's been adjusted, now delivers gas 50 meters downward, covering a majority of large buildings. Care package has been adjusted just for what's in it. Cluster strike, counter UAV, napalm strike, precision strike, airstrike, supply UAVs, and UAVs are all returning. Perks, now Battle Royale will have lootable perks. We had this back on Caldera in Warzone 1, then it hasn't been back since. other than in Resurgence, but now through contract rewards you can get Reactive Armor, Scavenger, Mountaineer, and Alertness, and through the orange supply boxes you can get Tempered, Survivor, Reactive Armor, and Alertness. And Resurgence, there's Bomb Squad, Irradiated, Scavenger, Shrouded, Alertness, Veteran, Cold-Blooded, and Reactive Armor. So here are your perks. In perk slot 1, Mountaineer, they reduced fall damage, and they reduces fall damage, improves climbing. The improves climbing part is new. They increased the height for critical fall damage by 5 meters, so it should be more similar to how it was originally. Something that I'm going to be testing out. Combat roll further reduces fall damage by 10% and removes the movement penalty from high falls, and increases ladder climb speed by 15%. Mountaineer could be the way to go. In slot 1, Cold-Blooded grants immunity to tracking equipment, targeting systems, and electronic interferences. Immune to thermals, weapon targeting systems, heartbeat sensors, phantom signals, scrambling, EMP effects tracker, and alertness. That's all good. Grenadier improves explosive equipment and equipment handling. See equipment trajectories, throw equipment 50% farther. Scavengers returning as it was, veterans returning as it was. For slot 2, Bomb Squad has been adjusted. Spot and hack equipment through walls has been integrated into Bomb Squad. And highlight equipment for your squad while ADS has also been adjusted into Bomb Squad. Reactive Armor is adjusted. So armor regenerates up to 100% of its maximum if you avoid damage for 2 seconds. I believe that's more regeneration than before. Total approximate time to regenerate, maximum is 20 seconds. Breaking Armor triggers an EMP effect. This could make this the go-to in slot 2. Breaking Armor triggers an EMP effect, won't retrigger until armor is fully restored. We were initially cautious about the overall effectiveness of this perk, as maintaining a healthy plate economy is a key balance consideration. However, it is also needed to feel more impactful in moment-to-moment gameplay. In addition to its new EMP trigger effect, we've reduced the delay before regeneration begins and increased its regeneration speed to improve its combat value without disrupting balance. Sprinter grants tactical sprint, reload while tactical sprint, and reduces movement penalties while reloading or using equipment. I don't think Sprinter will be very popular unless even the increased sprint speed is bad, but I don't like having 2 different sprint speeds. And they've merged Gung Ho into Sprinter as well. Alertness is returning. Quick Fix is returning. Slot 1, right now I would think Mountaineer would be the way to go. Maybe Veteran. But Mountaineer, the improvement is really good. That's the way to go. For slot 2, it's looking like maybe Reactive Armor or Quick Fix, maybe Alertness, but maybe that's more of a solos thing. Quick Fix is nice because you can do the plates one-handed, so you can hip fire, and you can immediately begin health regen when eliminating opponents or inserting plates. So Quick Fix or Reactive Armor, because of that EMP, will be really good up close. And if Reactive Armor becomes really popular, Cold-Blooded will probably become more popular because of the EMP effect resistance. So that's something to think about for those. For the yellow slot, a new perk is Adaptive. Improves explosive defense movement and handling. With plates not full, you gain a 10% speed boost. With plates full, you gain improved ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. You gain an audible warning when near trap equipment, which I forget which perk that is, but that's been integrated in. Traps triggered by the player are delayed. That's also integrated into Adaptive. And gain the ability to reset fuse when throwing back grenades. Then you have Ghost. It's been adjusted. Improved stealth. Undetected by enemy radar pings while moving. Effects are disabled if stationary for 1.5 seconds or more. Survivor adjusted. Improves health regen, revive speed, and survivability. With full armor plates gain 1-hit protection against ballistic weapons. Health begins regenerating after 4 seconds. Allies revive you faster. I don't like the taking away from one. It says against ballistic weapons because of something we'll talk about lower in the patch notes. But taking away one-shot headshots from snipers, I think is bad. I don't like that at all. I really am not a fan because it's going to kill sniping, but we'll see. Tracker adjusted improves tracking and target acquisition. Shooting an enemy briefly outlines them based on range. Automatically ping the enemy who downed you. Track enemy footprints. When you shoot an enemy, all others can see their footprints for 10 seconds. And then Tempered is returning. Tempered is always a good option for slot 3. Survivor, because of the one-shot headshot protection, is probably where I'll go for 3. Adaptive is interesting. It'll be interesting to play around with these perks for a few days. Loot adjustments, they've taken all the BO7 weapons out. They also removed pistols, gas masks, self-revives, and randomized attachments. No gas masks or self-revives is kind of crazy. That's actually kind of crazy. We already talked. Here's all the different lethals, tacticals, and field upgrades, but you can loot all of your lethals, tacticals, and field upgrades. Buy station adjustments. The only thing really notable here is the Echo unit for 1,500 and the Napalm Strike for 5,000. I guess the counter wasn't there before either. That's 4,000. But other than that, it's all the same. Verdansk, all these. Here's your buy stations at the beginning. They got the good train buy. They got the twins buy. They got the super buy. They got a lot of the good buys. None of the hellos, though. Locations, buyback speed. So now when you're eliminated, you'll be able to be bought more quickly. Thank God. Contract sponsors, some additional contracts will now reveal in later circles more consistently. That's good. Search and destroy contracts has been removed. Low adoption rates. Duh. That contract was terrible. Public events they've updated: loadout drop, fire sale, restock, contractor, fire sale, restock, flyby, recon, flyover. Circle 5, you get your other loadout drop, and then circle 6, we could have jailbreak, restock, flyby, or recon, flyover. I'm guessing we won't get restock ever 3 times unless that's an accident. Some adjustments to attachments. Mid-range barrel expands medium damage range. 1, a new Warzone specific stat that improves effectiveness deeper into mid-range fights. And control barrel improves recoil control and bullet velocity to enhance long-range accuracy and consistency. Expanded attachment functionality. Suppressors now provide visual recoil reduction in addition to keeping players off radar. Mobility focused stocks now improve handling alongside movement. Heavier stocks now further emphasize recoil stabilization. Shotgun slugs can now one-shot headshot within their maximum damage range. That is the closest damage range before any drop-off. We don't really care too much about default loadouts, although they say it will be regularly updated to reflect the current weapon meta, which is interesting. Weapon build sharing, now there's unique codes. And then for legacy weapons, you just have to go an extra step to navigate to them. And then it shows all the new BO7 weapons. The most notable thing is this is the new one of the new Battle Pass weapons, and so is this. If you didn't watch my meta prediction video, slash what you should have leveled up by tomorrow, it's probably a little late to level things up. But I had the M15 Mod 0 as one. The MXR possibly as my second best guess, and then the XR9 Maverick, which is first, and then for Peacekeeper for sniper support. But if the Maddox RFB takes over, then all of that was for nothing. For SMGs, my guess was the Dravik, first the Carbon, then the Dravik was my second best guess, and then the MPC 25 was my third best guess. Once again, if the Koget, however you pronounce it, 7 takes over, then all of that is for naught. And then I was worried about the Akita because it's an auto shotgun. If the Sokol 545 takes over, that'd be interesting, but I don't think we'll get an LMG meta. I was also concerned the M841 is a burst, so that could take over. And then the VS Recon is potentially going to be the only one-shot headshot. Infinite one-shot range, one-shot headshot to down an enemy. So the Shadow SK cannot, but if headshots are taken out, this would be the sniper to go to because you need to get 2 shots in, just like we saw in Warzone, the beginning of Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 Warzone, when the Signal 50 was the sniper meta because it was semi-auto, so you could shoot more shots more often. Pistols won't matter, launchers won't matter. NX Ravager, I'm sure, won't really matter either. The ballistic knife will be the go-to melee weapon because you can melee and you can shoot the knife. For vehicles, the Polaris vehicles are returning with this new look, but other than that, they're the same, and they're all on the maps. We're getting weekly challenges back, which is good, with weekly challenge rewards. There's some new UI stuff, but none of it's really that important, and that's it. So that is all of the patch notes for Warzone coming tomorrow. Now, there's no mention of the legacy weapons, but I expect none of them will compete because they always want the new game to shine and they want to motivate you to play the new game. So expect the meta to just be BO7 weapons, whether that's the new ones, whether that's ones from the game that when the game was released. We don't really know. We'll be testing the meta and perks out tomorrow on Twitch, like I mentioned, which is linked down below, of course, as well as both sets of patch notes. And all my other social medias, my single player channel, and my car related social medias. So thank you everyone for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like this type of content, Apex game reviews. If you like all that, that's what we upload here. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to see it first. And comment down below what you think of the patch notes. Are you excited for some of the new perks, some of the perk adjustments, have new weapon pools, you know, the new Resurgence map, whatever. Let me know what you're excited about down in the comments down below, and I will see you on Verdansk and Haven's Hollow. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.